What is happening, my friends? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm your guy, Arrington Gavin. And look, you are tuning into the Arrington Gavin Show, your go to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day. Whether it's politics, pop culture, sports, or the latest buzz, we're diving deep and keeping it real. So kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. Look, so on today's show, my friends, we have a lot to unpack within this next hour. We're going to be talking, of course, a little bit of politics, a little bit of sports, a little bit of entertainment, a little bit of everything, really. You won't believe the endorsements that these presidential candidates are receiving. I'm talking on both sides. Kamala Harris are receiving a lot of endorsements, and well-known endorsements, that is, as well as former President Donald Trump is receiving some pretty interesting endorsements as well. Also, the Hulkster, Hulk Hogan, Hulkamania's running wild in the USA. Yeah, that's right. Well, he is not running so wild at the moment because his up and coming biopic was just canceled because of backlash he said about one of the candidates. Take a guess. Do you know who it is? I bet you do. Also, let's see here. A famous restaurant, a famous food influencer who is known for being a quite harsh critic, but he's honest with the people. He's trustworthy with the people. Keith Lee, he had some words to say about DC restaurants. I thought was quite interesting, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of agree with him on it as well. And well, of course, we're gonna do our fun fact of the day as we do every show, and also just typical conversations here with your boy, which I'm so honored and excited that you took the time out of your busy schedule to tune into the Aaron T. Gavin Show. This program comes to you with new episodes weeknights available on all podcast platforms as well as streaming platforms of YouTube. Our YouTube channel is R Smooth Club Media. So you can go on YouTube, type in the Arrington Gavin Show. You can follow us from there, as well as on Rumble at the Arrington Gavin Show. So multiple ways you can watch it. And then you can also listen to us in our affiliate out in the Dallas, Georgia area, WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk. We air there Monday through Fridays, weeknights at 11 p.m. You can also listen online on WDJYFM.com. We truly appreciate them and their support and just being a part of the WDJY family. Very excited. Also, my friends, want to start off the show by shouting out some of our proud supporters of the Aaron T. Gavin Show, like my good friend, Mr. Bernardo Johnson, founder, owner of Bernardo Menswear, which is located in Norfolk, Virginia. But you can also shop online. He has an amazing custom uh, clothing store. He keeps you swagged out from head to toe. I mean, I'm talking shoes, suits, business casual, you name it. He has it all, everything you need to help build up your fashion. Okay, build up your fashion level, because a lot of us, we're still relying on some old school 10-button suits, if you know what I mean. And it's like, okay, you need to step up your game, my man. Well, look, you need to hit up my friend Mr. Bernardo Johnson. He has some cool threads there. I have a few pieces that I can't wait to share uh coming soon with those, and it's just some great stuff. Again, if you happen to be in the Hampton Roads, Virginia area, you can go visit him at his store location on the first floor of MacArthur Mall in the heart of downtown Norfolk. Or if you're not from the area, you can shop online, no worries, to www.bernardomenswear.com. Again, that's bernardomenswear.com. Also, my friends, we're going to get it going with our fun fact of the day. Then we're going to do a quick commercial break, and we'll start off with our first story of the day. So let's start off first with our fun fact of the day. The longest, oh, nope, that's the wrong one. My bad. Did you know a lightning bolt is 5 times hotter than the surface of the sun? Damn, that's hot. It says here that the charge uh carried by a bolt of lightning is so intense that it has a temperature of 30,000 degrees Celsius. That's around 54,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Wowzers, okay? Wowzers. Let me tell you a funny story. When I was in college, my freshman year, I was trying to be like a cool, I'm big on my books. I'm gonna study hard, and I'm gonna. I think it was during the finals, and a lot of people were doing like late hours, at the library, and I lived right across. There was a huge it's called Squirrel Park, and Squirrel Park was just this big, pile of land. It was a big park. It was very nice, set up in, trees, the whole 9 yard. But it was right across from the men's dorm where I stayed at, Dunn Hall. Shout out to Trelawney University. And so I went there pulling late hours. They extended the hours of the library because normally it closed at a different, at a earlier time than the finals, but it was there for a later time. And so I was out there, saying, "Hey, look, I'm gonna save my materials, yada yada yada." I think I had like a group session or whatever. And then all of a sudden I hear that thundering and I hear that lightning. I'm like, "Oh snap, I got to go." It was pouring, but it was so scary because it was like so dark outside and I'm running, and it wasn't really a lot of like covering. If it was trees, but you could, obviously the sky was still pouring down on you, and it was so much lightning, man. I was so scared. I'm like, Lord, please don't let this be it. I haven't even experienced my first year of college, and I was booking it. Zoom, 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 zoom. You would have thought I was Usain Bolt. Zoom, zoom, zoom. And I was like, whoa. And I've always had a fear of lightning storms if I'm outside or if I'm driving in it. But um, yeah, I don't do lightning, and I know maybe like one person that was actually struck. I don't know if it's true or not, but yeah, he was a bus driver at my high school. He was kind of weird, but I heard he was struck by lightning. I'm like, oh, explains a lot. Anyway, how you guys doing today? You doing good, man? I don't know about you, but I am blessed and highly favored. I had a great workout with my trainer today, who you're familiar with on the show, Joshua Mosley. He trains my wife and I, and we were having we were having the kind of like the debate on just the sport of football, right? So we heard a story recently that it was a player out in Tennessee. I'm not remembering his I don't remember his name, but he had lost his life in the game, right? Uh, from after receiving like a common tackle, nothing too intense, but he had passed due to a brain injury. And so my wife asked the question to Joshua, like, "Hey, would you allow your kid to play football?" And he said, "I would let him he I would wait until he's much older." Right now, I think he maybe older meaning upper junior high, maybe early on, early high school, like freshman, something like that, but just older, so his body is still, still forming, but still, can hold a hit, can hold an impact. Because remember, Pop Warner starts like at 7 or 8 years old, maybe even younger. I could be wrong. I remember I did Pop Warner in as far as contact sports, and so I was like, okay, that makes sense. And then he had told me that in practices now they don't do like contact drills, I guess, in high school and middle school. I did not know that. I know in my high school we did contacts like every day. Now I was on the side of, nah, I don't think they should always do like high intensity like contact drills during practice, because you want to also protect your players from facing an injury, especially if it's a week of a game, right? Um he said, which made sense. He's like, well, wait a minute, let them feel that contact so their body is used to it rather than just getting that first impact during the game. I'm like, yes, but you I feel like in football, whenever you feel that contact, it's not like you're gonna be receiving the exact same contact every single practice, every single game. It's gonna be someone's gonna get either stronger and stronger and stronger, or weaker and weaker and weaker, and it's gonna be a different type of impact, right? It's gonna be a different impact. So we practice a lot of the the very smart way to tackle, right? We do so many drills constantly, but guess what? In the heat of the moment, we never really tackle that way. Eh, think about it. Do we really tackle like we're practice? Maybe sometimes, maybe a good portion, but you got some guys that the bigger the impact, the bigger the highlight, right? Me on the other hand, I was a DB. I'm like, look, I'm just gonna take you down. I ain't trying to make a highlight reel. I want to just make a play. There's a difference from making a highlight reel and making a play. I just want to make a play and keep it moving. Let both sides be safe. Hey, we got a couple of bruises, whatever. But we had that argument, which I mean, we had that debate, which I think we'll have a little later on in the show very soon. But not today. Today we already got an agenda of stories and that we're going to be discussing. But before we discuss those, look, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere, my friends. You're tuning into the Arrington Gavin Show.
You know, just like a winning team evolves throughout the season, so does your beard. I'm Arrington Gavin, proud CEO of Rugged Evolution Beard Care. With our premium oils, balms, and grooming tools, it's everything you need to level up your beard game. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a rookie, Rugged Evolution is the new smooth. Order now and dominate the beard game like never before. Rugged Evolution Beard Care, because every beard deserves to be legendary.
Welcome back, my friends. Welcome back to the Arrington Gavin Show. I am your guy, Arrington Gavin, and let's get it going with our first story of the day. Let's talk endorsements, right? Let's start it off the bat. Let's talk political endorsements. So recently, former Congresswoman, Democratic Congresswoman out of Hawaii, Tulsi Gabbard, came out publicly of endorsing Donald J. Trump. That's right. Oh, it's true, y'all. It's very true. I was about to say like Kurt Angle. Oh, it's true. It's damn true. That was his slogan for all you wrestling fans out there. So Tulsi Gabbard, to give you a little background on her, so she was a former presidential candidate under, she ran as a Democrat and came up short, right? She was always kind of like the not traditional Democrat, even though she comes from a traditional Democratic family. Her father was a former official representative of Hawaii, and he was also a Democrat. I'm trying to remember exactly. Let me see here. Where is her? Where is her father? Give me 1 second. Trying to gather it up here. Yes, his name was Mike Gabbard. He is still very much a yep, he is still a Democrat. He initially okay, so check this out. Um I'm looking at his stats. So before 2004, he was considered independent. Then for 3 years from 2004 to 2007, he became a Republican, and then from '07 to now, he is very much still a Democrat. So he was a state senator there, and that was the highest, I believe. Yes, so council and then state senate. So really, Tulsi made it to the highest platform. So it kind of makes sense because it runs in the family of the whole swapping political parties. They never can make up their mind. So Tulsi ran as a Democrat in the presidential race, came up short, and she since then had been kind of like the outspoken Dem. She was always speaking against the Democratic Party and how the Democratic elite is effing up the whole party and blase blase blase. And she had made a name of herself in conservative media because everybody on the opposing side loves you know loves a person that calls out their own party. I mean, the Democrats do it too. They love um having a Republican that speaks against the Republican elite leaders at the moment. So basically Tulsi did the exact same thing, and she recently endorsed President Donald Trump. Now this comes off the story of where I'm trying to look for my this comes off the uh story of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. suspending his campaign, not ending it, but suspending his campaign and endorsing Donald Trump, which I still to this day I'm like, dude, so you want to stay on the ballot, you want to you're still telling people, hey, look, don't give up on me, still vote for me, but I'm gonna be throwing my support in for Donald Trump. It doesn't make sense at all. But anyway, as I digress from that, let me go ahead and get that article for you guys. It just it doesn't make sense at all, but but it's very true. So in an interview, I think on Fox News, I'm forgetting which show that RFK Jr. was on, but he said that hey, more Democrats will be bringing out their support of Donald Trump. Now, I'm like, they might be former Democrats. They're not, trust and believe, they're not going to be any current Democrats. The last Democrat that I remember that spoke, at least spoke at the virtual RNC, was Vernon Jones. Vernon Jones was uh a former state congressman out of Georgia, and he was the only Democrat that spoke at the RNC, and it was just weird. And then all of a sudden, I mean, you could tell it was his plan all along. Like he was never a true, you know, team supporter. He was never all in for his squad. Now, again, it can, to some people it's like, okay, good. Bump being, a team player, because all of them are got corruption. And it's very true. Like both parties have some corruption in there. Okay. Um, do I think that there's individuals that do mean well, that want to do great for their community? Yes, but you have to be careful because there's so much money and so much power involved in politics, and that does run in on higher levels. The higher it gets, the more aggressive it gets. So this article is reported by USA Today. It says former Representative Tulsi Gabbard of Hawaii, who ran for president as a Democrat just 4 years ago, endorsed Donald Trump. Now, again, stop thinking like she is a Democrat. Trust me, Tulsi has been showing her, to me, she's really, really leaning towards the, more on the right, which is okay. That's you have the right to do so. You have the right to choose whichever party, whichever feeds, whatever relates to your values. That is your God-given right, your constitutional right. That is your right. So there's nothing wrong with that. Again, it's no shocker to me because Tulsi has always defended Donald Trump and Republican officials. Again, very rare because like 4 years ago you were just a Dem, but after reading her the family in politics, her dad literally changed his twice. He tried Independent, he tried as a Republican. He said, no, I'm still with the Democrats. I'm still with them. And is he I don't know. I don't know how it is to be either one. But it says here that Gabby, who was a National Guard veteran who has served 2 tours of duty in the Middle East, made the announcement that made the announcement on the 3rd anniversary of the suicide bombing in the main airport outside of Kabul in Afghanistan, killing 13 U.S. service members and more than 150 Afghanistan. It quotes, "This administration has us facing multiple wars on multiple fronts and regions around the world, and closer to the brink of nuclear war than we've ever have been before." I have to speak with people to expand on that, because see, the typical the average American voter is not thinking of what's happening overseas. They're thinking about what's happening in their community. So elaborate more when you explain, like, oh, we're about to be in a nuclear war. Like, explain that. Okay. The common voters is like, okay, I'm worried about just cost. I'm worried about my cost, my living. How is that going to affect me here in my hometown, in my city? She also said, this is one of the main reasons why I'm committed to doing all that I can to send President Trump back into the White House. Again, laughable. And I'm not saying this because of my, Arrington, you're just a, typical Democrat. You say you're independent, but you're really Democrat. First of all, bump what you say. I've always been an independent, proud to be an independent. I vote on my values, and honestly, I vote on morals over everything. Morals over party, not morals over money, not morals over excuse me, not personal gain over morals. Like I vote on what's great for for my personal benefit, right? And also for all people, for the majority. What is and that's why you see a lot of people fighting for democracy, right? We're not going back. I mean, again, because when you think of the sound "Make America Great Again," America, like, why you grow more by moving forward and not going back. So come on, y'all, use common sense. Um, let's see here. Yeah, wrong. It says here Trump praised Gabbard's military service while speaking before the National Guard annual meeting, highlighting her rank as a lieutenant colonel in the Army Reserve and her multiple overseas deployments. Let me tell you something. He's just not saying that because he wants to continue to receive that endorsement deal. Because best believe Trump talked junk about her before. He does to everybody. People think that they have a friend in Donald Trump. Look, he thinks about him and himself only. So that's why it's laughable when I see individuals like a Tulsi Gabbard, like a Robert F. Kennedy Jr. People that are trying to make themselves so relevant and so up there on the top of the ladder. Like, look, Tulsi tried. Okay, she tried to run for office and she didn't. Okay, RFK tried to run for office and he didn't. So, what's my next best option? Oh, let me go ahead and try and get a cabinet position because I want to be in the White House so bad. Let's be honest. That's how politics works, y'all. All those past candidates that were running in the Republican primaries, they knew good and hell well that they did not have a chance of winning or beating Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the founder of the new Republican Party. Okay. So guys like a Larry Elder that ran for president. Yeah, remember Larry? Yeah, he ran for office. Tim Scott. Um, 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 who was Ron DeSantis? Every single individual. I think it was only but one guy that was a very serious individual who was always fully against, and that was, I believe his name was Will Hurd out of Texas. He was a former congressman out of Texas. He was an anti Trumper. But the rest of those they look, they want the personal gain. They want to be a part of that cabinet so bad. But my take on this endorsement is that's politics. I don't see it being an issue. Again, I'm not a huge fan of Tulsi Gabbard. I mean, I was at the time when she was running for office. I was interested because again, I do like seeing an outspoken person that is not scared to say what's on her mind about her own party, right? But then when you start to really say, okay, you're saying a lot of stuff against that party. I mean, and it just, even though she's independent now, she leans more right than left. And to me, I feel like independence, you have to call a spade a spade. You know what I mean? On both sides. So it was interesting, but this is just the Republicans going right back at the Democrats because hey, the Democrats had their fun at the DNC by having all those Republican officials endorsing Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. So it's no different. It is no different from what we previously saw. Um Staying in this category of endorsements, right? I also want to throw in the fact that Kamala Harris and Tim Walz just received more than 200 alums from the Bush, Romney, McCain staffs. Because and it's very interesting because what they're saying is that previous people that have served on the staff of these past Republican leaders, John McCain, the late great John McCain, Mitt Romney, as well as George W. Bush, they're even endorsing VP Harris. So let me bring this up for you guys, which I think this is quite is again, it's no shocker because we've seen at the DNC how a lot of the Republicans said, "Look, we're voting for democracy and not and not we're going for democracy and not what's the word I'm looking for? Democracy over party. That's what they said. Democracy over party. So let me read this for you guys. And this is also I'm sticking with USA Today right now. You're winning right now, USA Today. Good job for you. More than 200 Bush, McCain, Romney alums endorse Harris for president after criticizing Donald Trump. So it says here. Let's see. It says here. The letter from alums of 3 Republican presidential nominees prior to former President Donald Trump comes on the heels of a Democrat National Convention, which occurred not too long ago, that showcased Republican detractors of the GOP nominee. At least 5 former aides to former President George H.W. Bush also signed the letter, which has 238 signatures in all. A similar group of about 150 anti-Trump former staffers of Bush, McCain, and Romney pledged support for President Joe Biden in 2012 election. And I quote, it says, we reunite today, joined by new George H.W. Bush alumni, to reinforce our 2020 statements and for the first time jointly declaring that we're voting for Vice President Kamala Harris and Governor Tim Walz in November. This letter reads, of course, we have plenty of honest can't get my words out, ideological disagreements with Vice President Harris and Tim Walz, Governor Tim Walz, that's to be expected. The alternative, however, is simply untenable. I cannot say my words today, y'all. Good gracious. Humana. Yeah, I'm not even gonna say that. I'm not even gonna say that word. I'm not gonna make a fool of myself like I've already done. Don't laugh at me. Stop laughing at me, y'all. But no, this is actually I think, to me, I like seeing things like this. On both sides. Hey, I like seeing when officials, regardless of political parties, they vote for the person that they see fit to run the country and that's benefit for the people. Look, I don't dislike the fact that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. endorsed Donald Trump. I don't like the fact that Tulsi Gabbard endorsed Donald Trump. I don't dislike that fact at all. I disagree with their choice. That I do, but I don't see it being being an issue. Not at all. I think it was quite. It was no shocker initially. I think it's a shame that for Robert F. Kennedy Jr., his family to come out with a statement and say they feel betrayed and stuff like that. That I feel like is a bit much. I'm like, hey, look, everybody should be should not always flow with because the family this, the family. No, I'm going with my personal views, my personal opinions. I think that's the way America works, right? That's the way it should be. So, just wanted to bring that up, get y'all started with some politics first. As I digress from this, we're going to take another commercial break. When we come back, there's a new sexuality in town. You hear me? There's a new sexuality in town. So that's right, my friends. We're going to talk about it here on the program. So don't go anywhere. Do not change that dial. You are listening to the Arrington Gavin Show. Don't go anywhere.
Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Order our scented beard oils and beard balms to help you maintain and grow the perfect beard. Order today. Try our men's care products like the full body exfoliating cleansing bars, body wash, smooth stash, and more. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. We're your luxury but affordable men's care line. And remember,
rugged is the new smooth.
What's happening, y'all? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Not what's happening, but what's happening. Yeah, that's a new way to say it. So as I mentioned before the break, there's a new sexuality in town. It's called a brosexual. So I kid you not, it says here the rise of the abrosexual identity takes social media by storm. Um, yeah, you have the same expression I did when I first heard about this. So as I get my notes ready for this, let me bring up this graphic for those who are watching on our streaming platforms. Um, Yes, it's very true. It says here that Gen Z TikTokers are shaping their experience of embracing a little known sexuality known as abrosexual. A sexual preference involves being attracted to different genders depending on how you feel at any given time. In other words, you may be attracted to men for a period of time, sometimes as long as several years before switching to women and then back again. All righty, it's getting interesting. Okay, so on social media, those who identify as abrosexual describe their sexuality as a part of their personality that changes and is fluid. Sound like y'all just like to get nasty. That's what it sounds like to me. Y'all just like to get nasty. Uh, however, some say they've been met with uh, cruel uh, uh jibes from friends and family when telling them about their newly discovered identity, including the accusation that their sexuality doesn't sound real. Huh. I would say, I don't know who comes up with the term. Like, I mean, who originally with the term is the big question. Um, what makes this different from being bisexual? Because bisexual is usually, you know, you like men and women, right? Okay. So abrosexual is, I mean, you just again, I want to know what's the difference. I want to know what's the difference. Because it's my head is hurting right now trying to think too hard on it. Like I said before, it sounds like y'all just like to get nasty, and you can't make up your mind why, because you like to get nasty. Now stop being nasty. Y'all have your fun out there, y'all, but just be careful. Make sure you use protection. All right. Don't be like Cam Newton out here, or Nick Cannon. They just bang everything. They just bang 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 bang. That's what they doing. All those kids. Whew. Let me move on. Mm, mm. I gotta move on to what do I have next for you guys. Oh, as I mentioned earlier during the show, so famous influencer, I guess TikToker Keith Lee, he shared his thoughts on his recent experience at a DC restaurant, and he shared his opinion on mostly DC restaurants, which I thought was interesting because I think this is not even just a DC thing. I think this is like a all restaurant thing. But let me go ahead and find the soundbite for you, and excuse me, let me find the soundbite for you, and let me know what you guys think.
About DC. It's been very hard to find restaurants, in my opinion. All the restaurants are geared directly towards alcohol. If you don't drink, it seems like it's slim pickings. I'm talking about everything: alcohol, bottomless, topless. Hurry up and get over here. We got drinks. I don't drink, so I'm hungry. I'm gonna show you everything I got, and we're gonna try it and rate it 1 to 10. One thing I will say about DC is
So he has a point there, right? So mainly thing he said was like, okay, I feel like the restaurants in DC are just catering to alcohol, like bottomless alcohol, happy hour mainly for the alcohol, not for the price of food. I've said it countless of times. I know restaurants that their food is garbage, pure garbage, right? Food is not good at all. But what helps? They have a bar. They sell alcohol. Hell, my sister-in-law told me once, as long as you have that liquor license, if you serve alcohol, you always gonna make money. And that's very true because everybody's always down for a good drink. It's very hard to F up a bar that serves alcohol because you're gonna have you're gonna have your plain Jane crowd that just wants, hey, I want a beer, I want wine, I want something that I want a rum and coke, something that's very easy to make, right? Now when you start getting to the expert alcohol cocktail, bartenders and all that stuff, like you make me a Manhattan, make me a I don't know, a cosmopolitan, or make me maybe some specialty drink, then you're getting really creative. But he's very true. Like, restaurants, especially in DC, man, they're expensive as hell. They always charge, and they charge a lot based on the area that they're living in. So if they're living in a multi-million, and like, okay, we're gonna give you we're gonna charge like $50 a drink. Okay. I'm talking, when I see restaurants that are like $14 for like not even a double, like a single of a bourbon. Look, stop upping the price, man, because I have the same bourbon y'all have, and it paid me like $50, to have that. Now you're telling me you're gonna charge me for a shot, $14? Give me a break, dude. Give me a break. But it's very true though. It's geared towards alcohol. It's geared. A lot of restaurants are geared towards their specialty drinks and stuff like that. And then he made a perfect example. I don't drink alcohol, so how do you think you're gonna continue to grow or continue to stay in existence, stay open? Hey, alcohol pays more. They know that they can rely on happy hours. They can rely on the Friday night crowd, the Saturday night crowd, the crowd that stays open until 2 a.m. just serving alcohol. I mean, you got hole in the wall bars that just, they're open, and their bathrooms is trash, their food is garbage. They got fries and tenders, or fries and that's it. But they know they got the alky, and that's all that matters. So I totally agree with Mr. Keith Lee, he's a very honest individual. I will say that he's a very honest individual and does not play. Let's see here. How we looking with time? Okay, let me move on to another story involving WWE Hall of Famer Hulk Hogan, who Hulk is he's going through it right now. I think when they saw him do his skit at the RNC, obviously Republicans thought it was dope. But some people were saying, Hulk, what are you doing? Try, stay away from the political scene, man. I mean, it's not you, but it's always been Hulk. It's always been Hulk. So recently, guys, Hulk Hogan had his upcoming biopic canceled because of words he said about current Democratic nominee Vice President Kamala Harris. Now let me go ahead and bring up this video for you guys. You can hear exactly for yourself of what he had to say. And do you think it was worth canceling a whole project? Because again, if you're a wrestling fan like me, he's there. It's a gimmick. It's a character, right? He doesn't truly mean what he says, but it's a different world we're living in. It's a different world we're living in. And this is what he had to say about Vice President Harris.
Crazy? You want me to bring more beers out? You want me to body slam somebody? You want me to body slam Kamala Harris? I said, do you want me to body slam Kamala Harris? You want me to drop the leg on Kamala? Is Kamala a chameleon? Is she Indian? Okay, I like it. Ow. I'm gonna get heat for that one, brother. That was not me. That was the beers talking.
And so here's the thing. Do I think it was a poor choice of words to say? Hell yeah, Hulk. Hulk is right now on this tour because he has this new beer called the American beer or something like that. And so he's on this tour going from bar to bar, party city to party city, hanging with the young kids. First of all, Hulk is old as hell. Hulk is almost he gotta be in his 70s. I don't know about almost, he gotta be in his 70s because I know for sure Ric Flair is like 73, 74. So Hulk gotta be in his early 70s, and he's looking at too. That back starting to, he has some back pains and all that stuff. So he said that um he said that you want me to body slam? You want me to body slam? He said her name wrong, which is Kamala Harris. Kamala. He said Kamala Harris. Kamala. No, sir. It's Kamala Harris. He said, you want me to body slam her? You want me to drop the leg on? And then, but here's when he was wrong, because he started to question his her ethnicity. Because you heard that was like, is she Indian? Is she this? Is she that? And that's where I'm like, oh, okay, dude, now you effed up. Because me personally, being a wrestling fan, I knew he wasn't serious about dropping a leg, like doing his wrestling move on her. You look like you're not that stupid enough to literally say you're gonna physically assault a woman. If somebody actually took that serious, I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't take that serious. But to question again, to do with the world, what the right is doing, is questioning her ethnicity. It's dumb, man. It really is dumb. And yes, you did get heat, buddy. And now your biopic got canceled, which do people really want to even pay attention at this point? I mean, we've seen Hulk Hogan for years. I don't know how crazy his life will be worth a full, a biopic. I don't know. Apparently, what's his name was going to be playing him. Chris Hemsworth was going to be playing Hulk Hogan. I mean, being me, a wrestling fan, I wouldn't mind seeing it because I saw the movie about the Von Erichs that Zac Efron played. That was actually really good. Very extremely sad movie, but it was a great film. But yeah, Hulk Hogan, he somebody need to put a foot in his mouth, man, because he's gonna continue to say more off the wall stuff. Like, I don't understand why people think they can replicate a Donald Trump and not get criticized. Because here's the thing: for some odd reason, Donald Trump just doesn't care what he says because he thinks he's untouchable. Other people within his circle, they try to do the same thing. Guess what? They're not untouchable. They start hurting their brand. They start losing a lot of just accomplishment. Their brand starts to deteriorate after they say something or do something similar to what President Donald Trump does. Let's just be honest. So how are we looking at time? We're gonna do another commercial break. When we come back, we'll have more here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Don't go anywhere, my friends.
Just like a winning team evolves throughout the season, so does your beard. I'm Arrington Gavin, proud CEO of Rugged Evolution Beard Care. With our premium oils, balms, and grooming tools, it's everything you need to level up your beard game. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a rookie, Rugged Evolution is the new smooth. Order now and dominate the beard game like never before. Rugged Evolution Beard Care, because every beard deserves to be legendary.
All right, my friends, welcome back. Welcome back to the Arrington Gavin Show. I am your guy, Arrington Gavin. Thank you so much for staying with us. And again, remember to follow us on Instagram at the Arrington Gavin Show, as well as subscribe to our streaming channels on Rumble, the Arrington Gavin Show on Rumble, as well as our Smooth Club Media on YouTube. Remember, you can tune into our show on our affiliate WDJY 99.1 FM, straight talk out of Dallas, Georgia, weeknights at 11 p.m. as well as on online at wgjyfm.com. Before I move on, I forgot to acknowledge another proud supporter of the Arrington Gavin Show, Ingenious Gin. Ingenious Gin is a Black-owned, veteran-owned spirit brand for all you gin connoisseurs out there. Look, this is a twist on the original spin of gin, okay? This is not your typical clear gin. This is a rose gold complexion. And look, as a bourbon connoisseur, I was never a fan of gin, but it's only one gin that I partake in, and that is Ingenious Gin. It's delicious, smooth, on the rocks, in a cocktail. They have amazing recipes that you can check out on their website. But they're a great spirit. So for more information about them, please go to your local spirit stores or ABC stores, depending on what state you're in, and grab yourself a bottle of Ingenious Gin. If you prefer to order online, make sure that you are 21 and older, and you can go to their website at www.ingeniousgin.com. If you happen to be watching this episode right now, you can see the 20% off discount code at the bottom of the screen. You can put that in at checkout. You receive 20% off your purchase. And make sure to drink responsibly. You don't want to be partaking and acting a fool with alcohol. That's nothing to play with. So just, enjoy yourself, enjoy with your friends and fam and all that good stuff. So again, shout out to Ingenious Gin for being a proud supporter of the Arrington Gavin Show. Moving forward to our next story. So recently, hip-hop star and social media influencer Plies. I've always enjoyed his commentary on local, not local, but national news and anything trending. He always loved to give his 2 cents in it, and he has some sharp insight, especially when it gets political, right? He does not hold his tongue on who he stands by, who he's voting for, and who's wrong and who's right, and so on and so on. So Plies is all for Kamala Harris. He's on that train. He's defending her nonstop. And in a recent video, I wish I can play it now, but it was a few words that I can't say on air right now. But I'll give you a little overview of it. He was mainly saying, why are you questioning and asking Kamala Harris to explain herself, this especially black man? Why are you questioning this woman so much? And he said, you're not questioning the white man, you're not questioning Donald Trump. So why are you continue to question her to say explain herself, this, that, and the other? Now, another famous individual, Charlamagne the God, co-host of the Breakfast Club, the hit radio show and podcast, and just a show that I hope to somewhat get to that stature, but with the help of you guys. But Charlamagne the God has shared his thoughts on it, and he mainly said that, look, black people don't settle. I kind of shortened up his term. He said black people don't settle. They should always keep candidates accountable, and they have to make the candidates explain themselves. I totally agree with Charlamagne what he said, but here's the thing: I totally agree with Plies has said. You have to look at the heat of the moment right now, guys. So the reason why Plies is frustrated is because there's so much at stake and there's so little time. I feel as though, now I'm the ones that love to always keep the candidates accountable and keep their foot to the fire, right? But in a case like this, are you worrying about a candidate explaining themselves, or would you rather risk making that an issue, affect their campaign, wind up having a person that you absolutely did not want to have in office, and you think it will be okay, and you have the right to, you have a chance to ask him to explain himself while he's in office? Hell no. So the reason why Plies is upset is like, look, y'all, we have to continue to work to get her in office. Bump all the letting your pride get in the way and asking her questions, this and that. Look, you should always keep Candace accountable, but in a case like this, would it hurt for you all to keep her accountable once she is in office? That's my question. I would want to ask Charlamagne the God. Like, is it a disservice if you ask after elected? Because you've seen the record now, and she is going to have to explain that in debates. She's already signed up for 3 debates. I think the first one will be happening sometime in September. So you will have to explain yourself in 3 debates. If she chooses not to, then she's screwing up her campaign chances by far, because you're going to have experienced anchors that are going to ask them the hard-nosed questions that everybody wants to know. That's why she's not worried about, well, not worried about, but that's why she's not pushing on doing these one-on-one interviews with anchors or doing the press. I don't think she needs to, especially when you have debates coming up. I really just think that that's is no need for it. But again, I totally agree with Plies and is saying that you are not you say it to one person, but you're not doing it to the other. You always make it so difficult for a female to try and achieve and trying to build up in her career, trying to grow up the corporate ladder. And it's like it's always some kind of hiccups, right? It's always something that you're, especially, you know, I will say this, in the black community, we keep our candidates, especially if they're, you know, if they're of color, we keep them, they have even a stronger, we go at them even stronger than we do somebody outside of our race, because for some reason we try so hard not to make it so obvious, like, oh, you gonna vote for them because they black. No, we don't make it to be that that obvious or that common. And trust me, believe I'm the same way. But best believe, when Obama first ran for office, a lot of people said, I'm going with the black guy. All right, y'all could care less. Y'all weren't answering them questions about his back. You wanted to see the first African American male to be put in office. That was the goal. Now, to me personally, I feel like it's the new age, but this time it's a female. And I think there's people that are very excited, but there's also people that you've seen the record of Donald Trump. You've seen his record. So why are you making it? Why are you stagnant? Why are you hesitant on your candidate Kamala Harris? Now I understand, please, I understand, y'all, that it is frustrating the fact that there was no proper primary at the time, a Democratic primary, so you'll choose a different candidate. I understand that. I understand that. It's effed up. It's effed up. But look, what are we gonna continue to, you know, are we gonna continue to moan and groan about it and whine about it? No, we can't. Because guess what? Right now we have two names, we have two people at stakes. The lesser of two evils. You either going with Kamala Harris or Donald Trump. That is going to be your choice at the end of the day. If you choose not to vote, then I don't want to hear your mouth complaining about this, complaining about that, because you chose not to do your duty to vote, and you just said, I'm gonna choose the couch. That's up to you. But please, I don't want to hear your mouth. I don't want to hear your mouth when you have an issue with, you know, cost of living or infrastructure issues or or discrimination happening within the communities. Just no peace at all happening in our world, because I'm sorry, it one individual, if one individual is elected, would I care? Yes, I would. But hey, look, at the end of the day, hey, they won. It's fair and square. Get over it. But I preferably, I don't want to hear the mouth. I don't want to hear the mouth. Yes. My question for you, the listeners, guys, and the viewers, am I wrong? Who's more right in this case? Is Plies right, or is Charlamagne the God right? Now, let's be honest. Charlamagne is a household name. The Breakfast Club has sponsors and has money spewing through their platform because they're known for being an unfiltered, especially Charlamagne the God. Let's be honest, he's the main star of that program. But Charlamagne, the older he gets, I see that he always still plays both sides, which is fair. I try to do the same thing on this program. The only reason why you don't see me playing it, talking about this presidential race, is because I'm just not. I've shared my true thoughts towards the Republican nominee Donald Trump, but Charlamagne always plays both sides. I mean, you have to. It's your job. That's your job. You have to. That's the way the world should be. That's especially in radio. His platform shouldn't be just catered to Democrats. It should be catered to all voters, Republican, Independents, Democrats. It should be catered to all people, not just black people, but Asian American, African American, Hispanic American, uh, 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 Jamaicans, you name it. Everybody, regardless of your culture, that show should be a platform that you can enjoy. You can get fair, fair, what's the word I'm looking for? Fair content, and not just not just uh biased, but unbiased. That should be the main goal. So again, kudos to both of these brothers for speaking up. I'm loving the back and forth. I mean, another guy I'm a fan of is Killer Mike, rapper Killer Mike. He's very vocal. He's spoken about his thoughts on politics, and he's very vocal, very educated as well. And I love it. I love seeing our brothers and sisters out there really fighting hard and getting involved in politics, and bringing their viewers up to speed on what's happening, because I feel as though, like, and I've spoken about on local office, at least in my hometown, like the youth and the black community, there's low voting turnout, and it shouldn't be, y'all. It shouldn't be, because this affects us the most. You hear me? It affects us the most, so we should not lack when it comes to our duty as citizens to not vote. There's so many people. Our ancestors fought so hard for us to have the right, the freedom to vote. And I look forward to voting. Let me tell you something. I look forward every time. Early voting, the day of, I look forward, and I am go there proud and cast my vote. You hear me? I'm proud, and I will. You can't try and sway me. I can't stand when there's people like at the door trying to sneak in. Hey, make sure you vote for them. Make sure you vote Republican before you get in. Make sure you vote Democrat. Nope, I already have my choice. Do not distract me. I'm doing my civic duty, and I'm gonna cast my vote. And I will proudly grab my sticker, stick it right there on my chest, and keep it moving. But best believe you will never see Arrington refuse to, or choose not to vote. I mean, good gracious. That's just I can't do bring a bad taste in my mouth. Just thinking about it. Just talking about it makes me can't do it. Can't do it, my friends. But look, we are coming close to our time. I hope y'all enjoyed the conversation. As always, I'm always honored to be sharing the platform with you, my friends, the listeners, the viewers out there. Please continue to share to the masses that the Arrington Gavin Show is not going anywhere. We are growing. We have some more great things happening on this program. We have some great interviews coming forth, and some great guests, even contributors and correspondents. Yes, we're building the team here at the Arrington Gavin Show. So we want to continue to help build this platform. And so if you can do us a favor, you can, if you can donate anything. It doesn't matter. You can donate by Cash App and the Arrington at Arrington Gavin, excuse me, Cash App. It could be 10 cents, it can be a penny, it could be however much you can afford, because we all is going into this program. We want to continue to grow, get the right equipment, the right we want to try and hopefully travel, bring the show on the road, and do so much other great things with this program. Again, you can tune in weeknights on all digital and streaming platforms, as well as our affiliate WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk, weeknights at 11 p.m. Monday through Fridays. Okay. Yes, follow us on all platforms, podcasts, YouTube, Rumble, as well as follow us on our Instagram page at the Arrington Gavin Show. Until next time, my friends, y'all be easy, stay blessed, stay safe out there, and I will see you next time for another episode of the Arrington Gavin Show. Peace.